Hey guys, welcome back to the Bull Combo, your source for tech reviews, album reviews, and more. Today we're reviewing Breaking Benjamin's new album, Ember, and I am so excited to talk to you guys about this album. So stick around and I'll let you guys know exactly how it stacks up. Alright guys, I've been waiting for this. I've been waiting patiently for this album to drop for the last few months now. Ever since they released Red Cold River, the excitement for this was overwhelming for me. Before we get started, I just want to let you know I am going to be talking about some of the finer details of the album. If you don't want anything spoiled for you, if you don't want to know anything about the album other than the song titles and that's it, I would stop watching right now and just know that you're going to probably love the album if you're a Breaking Benjamin fan. And if that's all you need, perfect. Thanks for watching, guys. So for those of you that do want to keep watching, I'm basically just going to go over the details of the album as well as my thoughts and opinions on it. I'm going to try to give you guys all the things I would want to know ahead of time so that you guys know what to expect when you head into this album. So first off, the album's 12 tracks, 10 songs, an intro and an outro. So you know, right up front, you know you're going to be expecting 10 new songs by Breaking Benjamin. The intro and the outro are only about 30 seconds, maybe a minute long each, and they don't really have any real music in them for the most part, so the 10 main tracks are what you're probably going to be focusing on. Of those 10 tracks, there's one song that's really soft, and that's The Dark of You with Derek Huff. The rest of the songs on the album, I feel like, are really heavy. So I know Ben did an interview where he talked about how the softer parts on the album were softer and the heavier parts on the album were heavier. And I can only agree with 50% of that. I don't hear much of the soft side. I feel like this album as a whole is really just aggressive all the way through. So if you like the heavier side of Breaking Benjamin, definitely going to like this album. I feel like the style of heaviness is definitely on par with Saturate or We Are Not Alone. Those kinds of riffs kind of seem to show through a lot on this album. If there was one album I could really compare this album to from Breaking Benjamin's discography, it would probably be Phobia. I feel like this album just has a really catchy vibe all the way through that Phobia just, it has a very similar energy to Phobia. So if you're a huge fan of Phobia, you're probably going to be a fan of this album too. Granted, this album's a little bit on the heavier side, so some of those riffs are going to be a little bit more aggressive. So usually when I do an album review like this, I try to get an idea of what I want to talk about ahead of time. I sit down, put some thoughts together, and really try to focus on a message that I want to send you guys in regards to this album. I'm really having a hard time putting into words exactly how much I like this album. It's one of those albums that's just so good, you really just have to show people because otherwise they're not going to understand. So I think it's really crazy that after all these albums, Ben Burnley is still writing such ridiculously catchy vocal hooks. It's almost like he has an endless supply of melodies in his head that he can just spit out at any time. He's like a melody machine. It's incredible. And you know, on this album, it shines through just like on all his previous albums. There's catchy note after catchy note and chorus after chorus. It's just ridiculously memorable. And I really think that this album's going to resonate with a lot of fans for a while. And I think Breaking Benjamin are the kings of replay value. Their songs seem to have so much depth, seem to have so much emotion inside of them that it really takes several listens to wrap your head around the song, the sound of the song, and you know, the message inside of the song. And I still think to this day sometimes you can listen to Breaking Benjamin songs and hear things that you've never heard through any of your previous listens. So you know, I think that there's something to be said for that's difficult to do in music these days. And I think that they've got a really good formula going. So hats off to Breaking Benjamin for coming out with just another fire album. If you guys wanted to know my favorite songs on the album, I think my favorite songs would probably be Feed the Wolf because it's just so catchy. Tourniquet, it's an amazing song. Down, Torn in Two, and Close Your Eyes. That's like 5 songs, that's like half the album. I mean, and the other 5 songs are just as good. It's just those 5 songs, specifically to me, are the most catchy and the most memorable. But every single song on this album is extremely strong. It doesn't feel like any of the songs are fillers. It doesn't feel like there's anything that was just thrown in to be thrown in. There's some really awesome throwbacks to some previous Breaking Benjamin stuff on this album. The end of Torn in Two has a pretty cool throwback to So Cold. You'll have to listen to the song to understand what I'm talking about, but you'll probably understand it when you hear it. Also, the song Save Yourself seems to reference a ton of Breaking Benjamin songs in the lyrics. So if you guys have heard Save Yourself, I believe Save Yourself's been out for a couple weeks now. It was a single they released. Go ahead and check out the lyrics to that song. I think it's really neat when bands can get kind of meta like that and take their material and make some depth to it. If there was any complaint I would have, it would just be that there's only 10 songs on the album. I know Ben in a recent interview said that they were going to be utilizing 3 guitars more on this album. And while it does sound like some of the songs are a little bit fuller, I don't really hear 3 guitars in the mix. Or maybe it was mostly to create that wall of sound type style, but I don't really hear the 3 guitars too often in the music. In fact, what I do hear more is the use of vocal layering and you know, different vocal hooks over top of each other, which I think is done more so on this album than ever before. There's several songs where the outro to the song has 2 different vocal lines being sung at the same time. And they harmonize well together, but they're 2 different vocal lines. I think Feed the Wolf does it, Torn in Two does it, and so does Red Cold River. At least those 3 songs I know, they have layered vocals on the outros that just sound really cool. And something you'll probably notice a lot through this album too is that there are a lot of layered vocals. A lot of the band members in Breaking Benjamin sing now. It's not just Ben anymore. And on this album you will hear backing vocals by some of the other members. And I think it's really cool that Ben stepped aside a little bit and let those members kind of have their input on the album. I think everyone knows that Ben's been kind of known as being a bit controlling in the band and kind of making things his way. And I mean, can't really blame him when he's producing quality content like this, but nevertheless, it's cool to see that this is really a band and that they're all playing this together and that they're all doing this together. You know, I feel like this is the strongest Breaking Benjamin's been in a long time, probably, you know, since the Phobia days. So it's really just refreshing and it's exciting to see them back at the top of their game. I'm actually going to be seeing them this summer with Bad Wolves and Five Finger Death Punch. Not a huge Five Finger Death Punch fan, but Bad Wolves is awesome. I'm really looking forward to their new album. I'll be doing a review on that too. Alright guys, I want to thank you for checking out this video. I tried to keep it short and sweet and just give you guys my overall thoughts on the album and what to expect from it. If you liked this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up and hit the like button down below. If you have some comments or feelings on it, make sure to comment down below. I love seeing those comments and I love seeing other people's opinions on the album. That stuff's really cool to me. If you like the content you're seeing here, make sure to hit that subscribe button and click the bell to get notified. Again, I come at you guys with a new video every week and I just want to make sure you guys see it. Other than that guys, as always, I hope you have a great day, and until next time, we will see you soon.